Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Snow Bros. Jr. for the Nintendo Game Boy. In this 1991 elimination platformer from Toaplan and Soft, Snowman Nick has to rescue his brother Snowman Tom and stop the bad guys from melting Snowland. I think. I don't have the manual, and it seems like the backstory for this game is a bit different for every port, but luckily, playing the game is pretty straightforward anyway. See, as is the case with most elimination platformers, your objective here is to clear all the enemies from each single screen level. There are 60 in total, with a boss fight for every 10 stages. And just how do you clear the enemies? Well, considering you're a snowman, you turn them into snowballs and roll them into each other as they shatter against walls. You have a neat little snow blast that gradually encases the bad guys until they're ready to roll, at which point you can go kick them and instigate an icy pinball simulation. Careening snowballs will take out every other enemy they run into, and you actually get special bonuses if you clear every bad guy in a stage with a single snowball. Enemies that get pinballed can also leave behind other bonus items, like potions that upgrade your snow blast or give you a speed boost. And you'll know you're super fast because the little snowman sprite starts to run with multiple legs every other frame of animation, just like in cartoons. Sweet. Also, like in cartoons, there's a potion that puffs you up like a balloon and lets you float around the screen. This one is especially great because anything you touch gets destroyed as long as you're in balloon mode. Sometimes you can find a face item that spawns a bunch of googly-eyed rolling putty guys who spell out the word snow for extra lives if you can trap them all. I never managed to spell more than ow, but that's okay, I guess. Especially because I preserved my lives by skipping a handful of levels here and there with a wings item, which is a good or a bad thing depending on how much of a completionist you are. The first time I finished this game, I ended up skipping the entire last batch of stages this way, but since I still wanted to play through them, I revisited them after just for closure. Granted, those ended up being the most difficult levels in the game, but Snow Bros. Jr. is still pretty easy, all things considered. Mostly because it offers 3 lives per credit and an unprecedented 10 continues. Not enough for me to clear the game on my first try, but enough to finish the job without too much trouble on the second attempt. See, there's never too much going on to overwhelm you, and the enemies are all manageable once you know their attack patterns. The first set of levels has marching gremlins, fire-breathing dudes who remind me of turtles, and monkeys who climb up and down the platforms. And the boss fight is against a scary jumping demon with pointy teeth and a weird deep growl that sounds like lethal indigestion. The second set of levels introduces owls that spin themselves into indestructible homing tornadoes and culminates in a boss fight against a floating froggy head with cannons for ears. He really gives me the creeps. The third set of levels throws you for a loop by allowing the turtle guys to breathe downwards all of a sudden and prompts you to commit the atrocity of destroying the boss bird with its own snowballed hatchlings. The fourth set of levels greets you with the most disturbing boss in the game, a crawling devil with a swollen nose and unsettling retractable legs, and the fifth set plagues you with rocket launcher head guys, diagonally swooping bats, and the toughest boss fight. Here, you face dual faces who blow bubbles to either trap you and float you up to the spiky ceiling, set you on fire, or unleash tiny demon enemies upon you. The final levels feature annoying smiley fire guys who wear cool dude shades and teleport throughout the screen to spit bullets at you. And the ultimate boss confrontation is a surprisingly easy fight against the sun, who's real angry for some reason. Needless to say, all the bad guys here are quirky and charming and really give Snow Bros. Jr. an aesthetic appeal that layers the perfect amount of creepy on top of the perfect amount of cute. I felt equally disturbed and enticed by the graphics throughout pretty much the entire game, all while squeaky sound effects and upbeat chiptunes soften the experience into something extremely enjoyable in the most unusual way. The most novel aspect of Snow Bros. Jr. is the arc of your snow blast. It actually angles down at the end of its flight path, so even though the range isn't very long, you can still use that to your advantage by hitting enemies from above. And my favorite part of this game would have to be its offbeat visuals paired with the wonderfully simple gameplay. The limited number of enemy types, the finely crafted snowball mechanics, and the well-curated bonus items all make for a fun, breezy playthrough. I only wish it didn't have that typical time limit feature where an invincible ghost shows up to chase you if you take too long on a level. Overall, as a fan of single-screen elimination platformers, I expected to like Snow Bros. Jr., but I didn't expect to love it nearly as much as I do now. It's equally cute and creepy, equally hot and cold, equally simple and deep, and makes me want to throw snow cones at demons. Fantastic.